Kim Kardashian shares gruesome photos after the tip of her finger breaks off, revealing a shocking health scare. Learn all the details of her injury. Plus, get the inside scoop on her unforgettable trip to India. What happened? Kim Kardashian shared the details of the grim finger injury that she called more painful than childbirth, which was caused by a sliding door and, in part, a late-night snack. On the newest episode of The Kardashians, the Skims founder arrives at her doctor's office with 2 fingers on her left hand bandaged as a producer asks, "What happened to your fingers?" The answer, she said, was a mishap with my big sliding door to my bathroom. The mechanics of the door, she explained, are confusing because there's no latch, so she usually stops the door with her hand. However, this time, I pulled it really hard and then Saint ran in with chips, she said, referring to her son, whom she shares with ex-Kanye West. I'm like, it's 8:30 at night, no chips? Distracted, Kim says the door went boom. And I was like, ugh, she groaned, making a pained face. I literally looked at my hand and I fell to the ground, she said, as a graphic images warning flashed on the screen. The images showed how the tips of her index and ring finger had turned a purplish gray, with a shard of bone sticking out of the top of her middle finger. In her confessional, Kim recounted that she just grabbed the table and got on my knees because I just saw all this blood, and it was my bone sticking out a little bit. She said she whispered, "Get me help." I was like, "I need ice," she said, adding, "I didn't scream. I didn't do anything." Instead, Kardashian says she simply mouthed the word help. "I didn't do anything but freeze," she continued, adding that, "You can't even describe the pain, but your whole body goes into shock. It was like more painful than childbirth." An X-ray flashes on the screen that shows how the tip of the bone in her finger broke, and Kim tells a staff member at her doctor's office, "It's like a floating piece. I wanted to die." She adds that the doctor told her, "It's a possibility your nail will never grow back," prompting her to retort, "Oh, come on, I'm going to invent a nail implant." Kim adds that she's been doing a hyperbaric chamber to aid in recovery, sharing that she did 4 hours the previous day. But who has time? She asks. As Johns Hopkins Medicine explains, hyperbaric chambers can aid in wound healing by exposing the body to more oxygen at a pressure that is greater than normal. Wounds need oxygen to heal properly. Exposing a wound to 100% oxygen may speed healing, the medical group explains. At plastic surgeon Dr. John Lake's office, Kim removes the splint to show the bloody stump at the top of her finger. "That looks great," her doctor says, prompting Kim to ask, "You think that looks great?" "I do, because a lot of that is just a little bit of dried blood and some oozing." He cleans it up with peroxide, as Kim says, "I just want to make sure that I will not need this amputated." Dr. Lake reassures her 100% that she will not get an amputation, but adds, "I think you dodged a bullet. It could have been really bad," he says. Moving on, Kim Kardashian and Khloe Kardashian are giving back. The celebrity sisters visited a temple to serve food with Jay Shetty and his wife, Radhi Devlukia, while in India for billionaire heir Anant Ambani and Radhika Merchant's wedding. On Tuesday, July 16, Kim shared a carousel of photos from their spiritual visit on Instagram. "Thank you, Aiju Jay Shetty and Radha Devlukia, for this beautiful experience at the temple and having the opportunity to visit these small souls. I'm forever grateful," she captioned the post. The first photo shows Kim turned to the side while standing in the temple. She is wearing an orange and pink shawl over a long orange skirt with a solemn look on her face. Her hair is tied back in a slick bun. The next image sees Kim and her sister witnessing a ceremony that features pink confetti, followed by a snap of her serving Indian food to a small child. The rest of the post includes snaps of the children being served, the group holding up a plate with a dish that is topped with several lit candles, and the sisters greeting a monk. According to Times of India, the group went to the ISK Khan temple in Mumbai to perform Seva, which is said to be an act of selfless service. The website for the temple, whose name stands for International Society for Krishna Consciousness, states that their aim is to acquaint all people of the world with universal principles of self-realization and God consciousness, so that they may derive the highest benefit of spiritual understanding, unity, and peace. Khloe, who wore a white gown with ombre blue touches and a sheer white shawl, also shared a behind-the-scenes look at the visit. She posted a few photos to her Instagram stories, writing, "Major shout-out of appreciation to Ajay Shetty and his beautiful wife, Radhi Devlukia, for being so generous with their time while in India." She continued They took us to the most magical temple. So blessed to have the experience with such beautiful souls. In a 2020 interview with The Times, life coach Shetty opened up about his relationship with the temple ahead of the release of his debut book, Think Like a Monk. Train your mind for peace and purpose every day. He stated that he attended a talk by leader Gauranga Das and later lived at his ashram in India full-time for an extended period. Over the weekend, the Kardashian sisters raved about Ambani and Merchant's extravagant wedding celebration, which kicked off on Friday, July 12. On Sunday, Khloe posted photos of herself and Kim at Friday's ceremony on Instagram, writing, "Kim and Khloe take India. I can't believe I get to have this experience with my sister. The best memories with my bestie." In the photos she shared, Khloe wore a gold and white lehenga with traditional Indian jewelry on her face, a gold necklace, and a choker. She beamed in many of the photos and held her sister's hand in some of the shots. The Skims founder made the unique choice to wear a deep red lehenga with glitter accents on Friday, which was unexpected because the color red is usually reserved for Indian brides. Kim liked her younger sister's post, but reflected on the weekend's events in an Instagram post of her own on Sunday. Kim and Khloe take India. The mom of four captioned the carousel of photos, all of which appear to have been taken on Friday night. The American Horror Story Delicate Star included photos with Khloe alongside some solo shots of herself, a photo taken of her and other wedding guests in an elaborately decorated room, and a snapshot of her and jeweler Lorraine Schwartz throwing peace signs while sitting next to each other in a vehicle. Kim wore Lorraine Schwartz jewelry to at least some of the wedding events. She told her fans in a video she filmed while traveling in India on Saturday. The multi-hyphenate wore a beige lehenga to Saturday's events, while Khloe donned a vibrant pink lehenga with beaded detailing on the sleeves. The sisters attended the wedding festivities alongside celebrity hairstylist Chris Appleton, as seen on social media. Other guests at the nuptials included former British Prime Ministers Tony Blair and Boris Johnson, Adele, Lana Del Rey, Drake, and David Beckham, per the Associated Press. The Skims founder's choice to wear red could be considered by some to break Hindu wedding etiquette. Similar to how guests understand not to wear white to a Western wedding, red is usually reserved for the bride in modern Hindu celebrations. For fellow guest Priyanka Chopra's 2018 Mumbai wedding to Nick Jonas, the actress wore a traditional red lehenga. Hers featured a long, embroidered skirt with a matching cropped top and veil. The bridal look was custom-made by Indian fashion designer Sabyasachi and took 110 embroiderers from Calcutta, India, over 3,000 hours to create the hand-cut organza flowers, French knots and silk floss, and layers of threadwork. Per Chopra's request, the names of her fiancé and her parents, Ashok and Madhu, were sewn into the waistband of her skirt in her native language. For the Indian wedding, I wore Sabyasachi, Chopra told People exclusively in her cover story. I always knew I wanted a red traditional silhouette for my wedding. But Sabya brought in incredible French embroidery to the mix, and with incredible jewelry and Western-inspired veil, it was just such an amalgamation of who I am.